Welcome back, Team Nagy. Now, Naomi, she's gone down to Swiss Cottage. In fact, if I looked out the window, I could probably see where she is from here. I've just changed this light fitting. This is all estate agent work we're doing today. A couple of people have asked in the comments previously, are estate agents worth working for? Personally, I think it depends who the agent is. I only work, put it like this, in the whole of London, I work for two, because they're the only two which I just trust enough to work for, because most of them, it's just about pushing the dollar and they don't care, you know. And this is all agent work we're doing today. So I've just replaced this fitting. That's one job. That was far too stressful on cam. So I've just finished replacing it. It's a nice fitting. I think it's about 500 quid. If I had 500 quid, I'm not sure I'd, you know, want to buy this light fitting, but each to their own. So that's done. I've got to put a lamp in it. So I'll do that quickly. And we've got the bedroom lights. I'll walk you through those because I actually don't know what's wrong with those yet. So we'll do that together. I've got to run to the van to get an ES lamp for that. So let me do that and I'll be back in a second. Right, next job in this little apartment, I think it's worth about 3 million quid, but next job is these lights. There's two bedside lights here, these sort of Star Wars lights. By account, they're not working. If you turn on the Lutron, bedside lights, we've got nothing. But we do have voltage above. Those are good little ones, the Q-stick duos. Those are quite good. The only reason I like them is because you've got the nulling capability. So if you're in a bat box and you just want to find which one the switch wire and which one the feed in and feed outs are, it's good for that. If you've got if you're doing like bathroom lighting where you've got like 6 or 7 cables in the bat box, they're really good for that. Because the ones without the nulling facility, sometimes, even if the cable's actually dead, it's just picking up a bit of feed off one of the other cables and you get false readings and stuff. This one you don't get them so much. Obviously you don't use that for like sole confirming something's off, but it's just handy for switches and stuff. Most decorative lights, they have ES lamps, and what you'll find, if you've got a fitting that doesn't work, don't just throw it away and pick up a new one, especially for expensive shit like this. Inside there, you've got, that's your positive, that's your live pin there, and that one there's your neutral pin. But what sometimes happens is this neutral pin, over time, people inserting the lamps in and out, in and out, in and out, what ends up happening is that pin gets pushed out, and when you screw in this fitting, this metal ring doesn't make contact with that pin and you end up, it just doesn't actually work. So I've got a feeling, if you just get a screwdriver in there, and it's literally, if you just get a screwdriver and just gently just wiggle that out a little bit, that pin, like that, just enough to give you, it might not be, but that's always the first thing with ES lamps I check. Let's try that, bedside. There you go, simple as that. So it's a quick little trick. I picked that up ages ago. Just check that first before you start getting into anything technical. Because it's easy done, you know. You end up, you look for problems that aren't actually there and you start overcomplicating stuff. Yeah, I'll show you the view in a minute. It's a stunning apartment. Yeah, so this is what's happened on this one. The centre pin is there, but this outer pin, it's come too far forwards and someone's wedged a lamp in and they've just kept on tightening it up, sort of Gangnam style, and it's just bent over. Let's try that. Like I say, I only work for two agents, and this is actually a tenanted property. So the landlord takes the property to the agent and says, "I want to rent this property out," and the agent basically makes a commission on the rent, that's how estate agents work. And when management issues come up, like maintenance problems, some estate agents will, if they're a really large agency company, they will employ an in-house like handyman to do that sort of stuff. But for smaller agents, they'll just employ an external contractor like me to come in and do these problems. So when the tenants move out of the property, they'll just say, they'll get what's called, what's the word name for it? The name's gone, I can't remember it. It's basically somebody who comes in and checks the property over afterwards, and they then compile a list of all the things that aren't right in the property, and that gets deducted from the rent that's been held. And then these three things were 3 jobs that came up that needed to be sorted. The way it works is some agents will have, when a landlord rents a property through an estate agent, sometimes they'll have like a maintenance deal in with it where they'll save money. And that's quite common in London. More and more agents are starting to do that now. So like if any repairs are needed, that's included. The landlord won't get sent a bill. The problem with that is that I won't work for those sort of agents because there's just no money in it, because they want to get the work done absolutely as cheaply as possible, and it's just push, push, push So it's very stressful working for them, and there's just no money. There's no profit to be made in the job. What other agents will do, which is the two that I do work for, is they will literally, if something needs to be done, they'll just find an external contractor like myself, and I'll do the job, and then they will just, there you go, that one's working, and they will literally just, I'll give them the bill, they just pass that bill on to the client, or in more cases, what tends to happen, I'll give the bill to the estate agent, and they will just deduct that off the rent that then goes to the landlord. So the landlord doesn't actually have to deal with it. The agent does it all for them, and they just deduct that off the rent. I find that's the best way to do it, because you're not being hammered down on a price, and when you do the work, it's, you know, it's quite enjoyable. You're still getting your full rate. If you choose to give a discount, then that's obviously, you know, that's up to you if they give you a lot of work. Right, those are working. I'll show you upstairs quickly. I'll show you the view. It's a nice place. Not a bad old view, is it? You're literally touching the crane up there. I'm sure if I was talking loudly, he'd hear me, you know? It's a cool view. I don't know how well you can see it. That's the BT tower over there. And just to the left of it, that's Canary Wharf there. The walkie-talkie. That's the Shard on the right-hand side of the BT tower, just on the right-hand side. The triangular one, that's the Shard. That's Regent's Park, just over there. Big open space. Well, that's one part of Regent's Park. It's a nice place. I saw this actually. It doesn't matter whether you buy, because there's this misconception that if you buy like a £5 million house or something, it's going to be of a better quality. It don't mean shit. I actually dread to think how much this apartment is worth. I really don't know. But I just noticed this while I was out here. At the end of the day, it's all still, doesn't matter how much you pay, it's still done by some YTS boy who puts three flexes inside one stuffing gland, you know? They're never going to be waterproof. So it doesn't matter how expensive something is, it's still, at the end of the day, it's a YTS boy on the tools doing the job, and if you pay him 6p an hour, well, you know. Right, this job now is finished. I've just literally packed up and just come down here just to put all my stuff in the van. We're off now to go and see Nay, because she's over in Primrose Hill, I think, doing another job over there. So I'm going to run over and see her. To give people an idea for stuff like this sort of job, the way we do it now is we've actually got, there's a guy who's designing a site for us, like an app-based platform for us to do all our bookings and ordering and all that sort of stuff. You know, I was saying I was always having issues with this. So what we're doing for the minute, just to tide us over, is I'm actually just using, you can buy these on Amazon. These are like 20 quid for a pack of 50 of them. So when I finish the job, I basically just come down to the van, chuck all my tools on the van, and then I just literally just fill out one of these. And that's what it's, nothing complex, just customer's date, your job you've done. But the reason I've started doing it like this is because when I finish the job, I can fill this out fully, put my hours on site, off site, materials, parking, because I had to pay for parking here. I can put all of this on here, and then I basically just take a photograph of it. I send that to Sarah, and then she can basically invoice the whole job. What I actually meant to say out in the van, outside. So for this job, for instance, because people ask how I bill work and stuff, so for that there, I was on site for just over 2 hours there. So I'll bill 2 hours labour, and then I bill it in 30-minute increments. So this will be 2.5 hours labour, plus parking out here, which was £3 an hour, so 6 quid. No congestion charge here. And then it's just that figure plus VAT, and then whatever my materials were. I tend not to put a markup on my materials. Some people do. That's obviously down to you. I personally don't, but yeah. So that's just how I do it. It's just every hour's labour, and then 30-minute increments from there.
6.5 hours later.
Right, this is later in the day. We met Nay in Primrose Hill. We did that job, and then we came here. There was no point showing you that job because we didn't have recording rights there. So Nay's van is now in for service, so we are doing the same thing again. Oil filter, air filter, cheap and cheerful change. And yeah, I'm just observing, and Nay's doing it.
Oh, hey.
And seems quite content. I think it's really interesting.
I find it interesting
as well. I like doing it. It's good fun. I mean, good fun. Fun is a strong word, but
I think that's it. Yeah.
No, that reminds me. People think that there's a small minority of people that think that our sexual innuendos are highly disturbing, and that you're going to be suing me for sexual harassment at some point. Apparently, bearing in mind you're actually the one that starts it pretty much all the time. But yeah, what people don't realise is that you're seeing a 10-minute video, and you're not seeing the other 12 hours of the day where I mean, there's been occasions where you've wound me up and I've just sort of bit my tongue and just not said anything and just walked away. But like, people don't see those, you know, that other sort of 11.5, 12 hours, people don't see that. It's just the 10-minute video. So yeah, we do, it's not like every single, is it? I mean, back me up here.
Yeah, no, it's true, it's true. You only see a clippet.
It is true,
of what
isn't it?
The day is.
That is what it is. You see a snippet of what is like an entire, because you're forgetting the other 6 days that go on that no one else sees.
But then also it's like when the camera also, it's not even that we're playing up, but it's, you know, there's times where we go quiet because we're just concentrating and getting on.
We just concentrate
and then we kind of meet back up in the middle, we have our fun and we have our games, and then we get back to
that bit there is what you see.
What you see.
That, the other 9 hours.
Otherwise it'd be a really boring video.
It would. It'd be a boring as fuck video. So that's why, if it seems skewed, that's why. It's because you're seeing it. You're not seeing it out of context. You're just seeing. You're seeing the lighter side of what we do. But like the other day,
there is a side where we just
the other day
quiet.
when you finished at Fulham at like 9 o'clock, no one sees that bit, and like you took the following day off.
I was finished.
Because you came into work the next day and you were mong.
You sent me home!
We had to drive to cities in Cricklewood. You couldn't even drive. I made you pull over.
Quote on what you said. This is what I remember this.
What did I say?
Quote, chick, you're no use to me right now. You're too tired. Go home and sleep.
That was it. I said, you're no use to me right now. Just go home. But that's the stuff. People don't see that bit. And it's like, so sometimes if you watch things and it's a little out of context, that's why.
No, I agree completely.
Even like stuff like this. This is a working day. I mean, I've got my watch on. This is a Tuesday now, and we're just doing this in the afternoon because the service light came on, and I've got to fit this in. And
we've got to drive as well.
Yeah, I've got to fit this in because it's got to be done. And so it's not electrical work, but it's still stuff which it's our day. It's what we do. You know, this is how it is. This is it. One day we'll have a unit of our own. I'm not sure when that day is going to be, but it will happen one day. Right. Hold on. So, right, if you just undo it, which is
which one? This one?
Anti-clockwise.
Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
Lefty-loosey, that's it.
Yeah, no, towards me. Here.
Yeah,
got it. Okay. All right. Right. What do I do?
Okay. So now you can lose that. That can go.
That can stay in.
Yep. So I'll have that.
Yeah, you can have it.
It's all right.
I feel like I'm in a dentist, all going wrong with the chair.
And you basically just twist it.
Twist it and drop.
Yeah, but there's loads of thread.
Oh.
You'll feel there's loads of thread.
Yeah.
And you'll feel when it's at the end of the thread, but try not to drop the nut into the oil because then I've got to fish it out.
Totally got this.
Yeah.
Halfords, eat your heart out. I've got this. It's going to drop.
That's it. Just pull it away.
Mum.
There you go.
Wait, my hand's covered in oil.
Yeah. Virginal oil.
And also, the nut is also covered in
Yeah, that's
oil.
Fine. I've got some blue roll here, look. Yeah, I think they're doing some sort of steaming demonstration today over there by the looks of it. You know these steamers which I'm going on about over at Go Bob's? Some sort of demo or something they're doing today. I feel like we've ram-raided their warehouse because they were in here, and I did tell them I was coming today. Anti-clockwise.
Yep.
We're not just electricians, you know. Bookings welcome. Not. George, I need your ramp every day. You'd be probably totally chill with it as well.
I think I am at finger tight.
So when you're there, take off the spanner.
Oh, nom nom.
It's just going to get very messy for you, I'm afraid. But I'll just sit here and watch.
Oh shit, the bed, I'm scared.
It's all right.
Okay, I'm going to do this. Oh God, it feels really warm. It's a weird sensation.
Is it now?
It's a weird sensation.
Sorry, we're not allowed any sexual innuendos on the channel anymore. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Oh God.
You have to be boring and serious.
Okay, this feels really weird. I've got it.
That's it. And just literally.
I'm trying to get the fucker out.
That's it. Just.
Come on. How much thread is there?
That's it.
There you go.
Right.
That is the filter.
That's it. So grab the filter and just pull it out. It just unclicks. That's it.
Got you.
At this point, I will give you.
Mum, be proud of me. Look what I'm doing with my life.
Yeah. Hey, Mum, this is what I've achieved.
I'm doing this for you, Mum. Like, you know that time your car broke down?
Yeah.
Don't worry, Num's here. I'm not gonna lie, it's a really weird sensation, all this warmth on your hands, but you're not sure where it's coming
you're
from.
absolutely right. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying not to make any.
No innuendos.
No more sexual innuendos, clearly. So look, this is a good day. This is what I'm on about. The other like 9 hours of just shit no one sees.
To be honest with you, we've been good today.
Yeah, I think when was the first sexual innuendo? How long did that take? 20 minutes? About that? Yeah, it didn't take long. Yeah, but it's like it's okay. We don't mind. Like
none of us are getting hurt.
Exactly. It's
different if I turn around and I went home every night crying my eyes out and said, "Oh, Tom's."
Exactly. If you turned around at any point and you were like, actually, you're being a bit below the belt or something, I would totally back off.
Yeah.
But I think there's just, we've actually discussed this before you started. So there is actually, it doesn't look it, but there is actually a very clear boundary of what isn't acceptable. The rest of it is just banter, you know, and if anyone's got a problem with that, I mean, just...
But also, if you have two blokes on site, they have banter about girls all day long.
Exactly.
All day long. So what, suddenly it's a problem that it's a guy and a girl having banter?
Exactly. I don't understand it.
Get a bit more toilet roll, please, darling.
Hang on.
Toilet roll? Blue
roll.
Does this oil come off in the shower? Not that I care if it doesn't, but do you find it?
Yeah,
Am I not helping myself here?
It should.
I'm not meaning it.
How many thumbs down this video is going to get? It's completely inappropriate.
Did you ever want to get involved with cars properly as a career?
I contemplated it once, and it was a brief contemplation.
Yeah?
Yeah,
How
and I decided, I was bored of being an electrician. I just decided that I fancy doing something else, but I wouldn't like to work on cars nowadays.
All electrics.
It's all electrics.
And
I fucking hate auto electrics.
I think I've got oil on my upper arm.
Yeah, I just decided it wasn't my cup of tea.
It
would be a bit cheeky if we charge up both our power banks here, wouldn't it? That would be a bit cheeky, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay, I won't do that again.
Ah, you just gave me an idea, and I was like, oh, I need to do mine.
Actually, yeah, mine's flat. It's not flat, it's about half charged. You know those big power banks we're using, those Power Oak banks. I mean, George is an understanding guy, but that might be a step too far.
Taking it too far.
Yeah. Right, nom nom.
Yeah.
Get your little ass under there. No, sorry, we're not allowed to do that. Sorry.
Take that.
Sorry.
Retake.
Sorry.
Right, say that again and say it nicely.
Sorry. Let's put the guard on, please.
Much better.
You got a screw. I mean, you have got a screw loose, but to be fair, that Shogun, I had a lot of nuts and bolts missing when I sold it.
No, you didn't.
I feel slightly bad for whoever owned that next. We'll gloss over that stage of my life when I was learning. I think also your perception changes as you get older. And I genuinely, I'm not just making excuses, I genuinely think that. Because like, when I was younger and I had to take my car for an MOT and stuff, I literally would, I had, we'll call him a man who could do it. And it was literally, I drove in, lights, wipers, horn, passed. That was it. And I was really happy with that. I was like, bargain, I've saved myself some money. But you actually haven't. You've just risked your life. That's what you just, when you're young, you don't think about it like that. Shogun was no different, you know? But it's true, you didn't think, you're just like, just sell it, get rid of it. I don't care who the next person is. Yeah, it's not that your opinions change, it's just you get older. You value, that's it, you just value a bit more your personal safety and stuff. Yeah, the problem is if we start talking like this, we're going to sound like really boring fuckers and everyone's going to switch over to Emmerdale or something. This is the reason why I give George a bit of, I give him a bit of airtime on the channel, because he's not actually a sponsor, but he does help us out, because like this just gets me out the shit. You could just book it into Renault, but then it's like the hassle of both of us got to go down there, drop it off, pick it up, and never go straight forward, there's always an issue. So it's just easier to come here and do it when I've got a cancellation in an afternoon. So yeah, so he's not actually a sponsor, but he does help us out, so I do my bit to help him out in return. Like, I know there's a lot of people, and there's more than one, who disagree with using cheap oil. I just politely argue the fact that my last van, it never went into Renault, and I just changed the oil every 10,000 miles just using cheap shit like this. I mean, not cheap. I actually question how, like, a basic oil to a quality oil, I actually question it. That's one for Project Farm, if you're listening. Compare oil. I'd like to see a cheap one versus a good one of the same, you know, viscosity. I can't do that. I can't do the...
That was your sound effect.
Yeah, I can't do the gluggy thing.
Do it again.
That's the cameraman. He can make that noise. I've never met anybody who can. Beautiful, Bernard. I can't remember how to reset the service light. New Renault Traffic, reset the real service light. Here we go.
Oh, a little YouTube video.
Yeah.
Take your finger off.
There you go. Done.
And that is the service light all done and reset.
Done.
Very nice.
Put
it back in. Should be off.
If you start the engine, make sure it's out of gear. You should be able to just start it now.
Ready?
Have faith.
I have faith in us! Booty tang!
Beautiful, Bernard.
Beautiful.
Right, let's clean up.